Welcome back, everybody, to the Wild Faith Podcast. My name is Evan Bungham. I have my co-host Luke Timmons with me today. This is episode 3 of the Turkey Talk. Luke, how are you doing?
Doing good. It's go time, man.
It's time.
It's
here.
Yeah, I mean, knock on wood. By the next time we talk about do the next Turkey Talk next week, it's going to be 2 days into season. So maybe you have some good stories and successful stories or learning stories, right? It's not
That's
failure.
True.
It's just learning for the next hunt. So no, I'm excited. It's going to be fun. I
just can't believe it's here. I was talking with my wife, yesterday about it, of where it's been, we've had a really busy like February, March, and then it's just flown by. And then now that we're already in April, it's like, man, it's already, we're recording this episode today. It's what is it? We're the first week of April here, and it's crazy just how fast time has gone. I mean, we're already in the turkey season. Luke and I have talked about planning out our April and May, and it's like, wow, it's going to go way too fast. It's going to be a fun season though. I've got queued up probably 4 or 5 people I'm going to take out turkey hunting this year that, have never been turkey hunting or haven't shot a turkey before. And then outside of, Luke and I's adventures. And, today we really wanted to talk about our trip to South Dakota and just kind of the upcoming season here for Minnesota. So let's just kind of dive into it. Luke, you were telling me before we jumped on that you scored some new land.
Scoring, it's always fun. But like I'm also the guy that will. It's funny. I always think about like when I'm going up to a new door, and this wasn't a new door. I had talked to this farmer last year about deer hunting, his piece, but he already had some guys in there. So I was like, well, you know what? not near as many people turkey hunt. So I'm like, you never know. Worst thing he does is say no and move on to the next. But I'm definitely the guy that has to like sit in the truck and like build up that encouragement. So
hype yourself up.
I usually drive around the block a couple times. So like they probably like, who's this creepy guy who's now driven by twice and now coming up to my door? But no, I went good. Super nice guy. He's got 2 different pieces. And so I was talking about the one, not to get in nitty gritty, but one away from where his house is, kind of on this, there's the main, where the fields are, and then it kind of dumps down to a creek bottom, but there's hardwoods all through there, and then a nice line of willows along the field edge. And yesterday, after I talked to him and he said, yeah, go for it. Kill as many as you want. I was like, well, I can for sure get one. And I said, maybe I can get 2 or 3 if my brother or someone else comes out with me. Yeah. But he's like, yeah, kill as many as you want. Cause he's got cattle in a section of that field. So he's actually, and I'd never heard of this before, but you know how turkeys are as clumsy as all get up sometimes when they're coming to and off the roost or just flying. You almost forget that they can fly because they're just such a big bird.
They fly fast.
Yeah. But anyway, so he was telling me that he's seen multiple toms take out his electrical fence. And I was like, what? I was like, I probably sat and talked to the guy for like a half hour. And, but yeah, he was like, yeah, I'd go, because he goes down every day to drop off silage and stuff and feed for the cows. And so it's like, he always sees turkeys over there. But he said, he'll come in on his tractor and spook them off. And a couple times he's seen them fly, they're on his side, the cattle side of the fence and try to take off. And when they do, they fly, they don't see the fence and go boom. And then they're just like sitting there just getting zapped.
Oh, no. I've never heard of that.
Never. So I was going to save that little tidbit until we were talking here because I was just laughing. I'm like, God, that'd be something. Not that I'd want it to happen to a turkey, but it would still be funny just because
they're out and about. Right, they're out and about right now. They're fired up in central Minnesota, and I'm sure they're just ripping and ready down southeast too. Yeah.
It like I said, I sent you some videos last night. I was taking from the truck. I got the a Vortex spotting scope, and then you
got a phone scope or what do you have?
Yep. Yeah. So I got the spotting scope with their window mount. That's super nice. And then I got the phone scope case, and you just pop it right on there and sit and wait and watch. And when I first sat there, right away, 3 toms came up out of the creek bottom and kind of were just walking around feeding. Sat there for minutes, and I was like, well, I'm going to go see if I can't score any more spots, and tried to stop at a couple other spots, but nobody home kind of thing. And so maybe get out there next day here or two again. But then went and scouted kind of some of the spots over by your guys' family farm. And
oh, nice.
Yep. Saw a bunch more turkeys. They're out and about, grouped up. I mean, it's crazy.
They're grouped up. Like me and Nora, this is actually kind of funny. And I doubt they would ever give me permission. So me and Nora went to the dump. When was this? This was last Saturday. And so the crowing dump here in, technically that'd be in Brainerd, just outside of Crosby there too. I saw him probably 3 years ago for the first time when I was out there. I would have never imagined that there was such a thing as dumpster diving turkeys. So this is a landfill that they have, which is just like the local county dump. And there's like a flock of, I don't know, like 30 birds that live within the landfill. And like this landfill is right by the airport too. So like there's a huge chunk of, private up to public that's in there. But I've never seen turkeys dumpster diving. Like they're just picking through the trash. It's disgusting.
Easy pickings. Yeah, I don't know if I want to eat them birds, but
and there's I'll have to find the videos I have of it. There was like 15 different toms that were just ripping through the garbage. And I almost wanted to ask and be like, hey, can I just go out there and just turkey hunt? Just like one day go shoot a dumpster bird.
Yeah.
But I thought that was kind of funny. And, they've been, even here in town in Brainerd and Baxter, like there's a good group of probably like 20 to 30 birds that live here in town. And there's actually a place I've been trying to get permission on. Every time I've stopped there, they haven't been home, but it's still on my list of hopefully getting permission on. Last year, I'll have to share the video, but there was a group of, I want to say it was 3 pieballs, 2 albinos, and just there's probably like 5 or 6 regular, regular birds. But 2 of the pieballs were jakes, and 2 of the toms that were albino, like true albinos, were toms. And it was just, nice. I thought they were farm turkeys when I drove by them. And this is literally right in town. Yeah. And technically in Brainerd Baxter, as long as you have your inner city bow hunting permit within the specific zones, you can hunt turkeys. And this falls right in that area. And I thought for sure these were like farm raised turkeys because they're just walking down the highway and it's just like, wow, there's 3 albinos and there's 2 pieballs. Like I've never seen that before.
Jeez.
Outside of like, I think I told that previous story about that piebald smoky hen that I was chasing that had a beard, but I was in disbelief when I saw him last year and I haven't seen him yet this year. So I'm hoping they survive because that'd be about the only time I think I'd ever get like a full body mount on a turkey to shoot like a full albino.
Yeah, that'd be
so
that'd
cool.
be a cool one. That'd be sweet.
But they're fired up, man.
I'm fired up. Jeez.
It's time.
Yeah. I was shooting the bow bit yesterday and getting everything dialed in. I'm gonna fletch some more arrows. I got probably a good, 8 to 10 ready.
So what are you running for a setup for this year for archery?
I'm actually gonna go spear hunting this year. So, yeah.
First year is legal.
Should be good. No, I got a Matthews V3 that I've been rolling with for year 4 now, I think, or just starting off year 4, whatever. But so that spot hog sight, fast Eddie, and right, yeah, that sounds right.
Yeah, somebody
will fact check me if I'm wrong. But so that, and then with arrows, I'm running with
Carbon Express.
I'm blanking on the name. They're red.
They're the Maxims.
No, they're a newer one. New
ones. That's right. They're micro diameter ones.
Yep. With the screw on outsert. So yeah, I'm butchering this here, which is just sad. But I'm gonna need that 8th cup of coffee yet to get through this one. But no, and then I usually just roll with probably just some Rage hypodermics.
Nice.
Cut a Rage hole in them and
would you shoot? You shot your last 2 with a Rage, right?
Yep. Yeah. And they didn't go 20. So it should be good.
Sweet.
How about you?
So this year is a mixed bag. I will, like we did a really fun podcast with Walleye Dan just the other day, and he was talking about his oohs and wahs of shooting traditional archery and how that's. And so I think this year I've been really pushing myself to shoot the trad bow again, and I just think it's so fun. But you got to experience it last year with me, where it's you miss out on a lot of opportunities that would be easy pickings with the compound or even with the shotgun. And I think I'm gonna stick to it this year. I've got it behind me here. I've got my Hoyt Satori. I've got the Black Eagle. Which ones are they? They're the Black Eagle. Wow, I'm butchering this too. I can't even remember which airs that are. They're the whatever micro diameter trad shafts that they have. I just got those refletched the other day. And then I don't know. I usually I'll carry two, I have the Magnus decaps, and then I've got some, which ones are they? They are the Magnus Hornets, I think they are. I haven't shot one with the Hornet yet, but my last turkey I shot with, you got to see the video, decap that Jake. So I'll probably rock with those. And then if I have to push it, if it's 20 yards, I'll shoot with those, just those rather fixed heads and see how that goes. Yep. But I think I'm going to run with the trad bow. And then, when we get out to South Dakota, I think it'd be a good time to put the stick bow away and bust out the shotgun. Just because it's going to be, I'm still hoping that we can at least shoot one out there, but man, your odds are so stacked against you chasing out in the hills. So I just feel like I'll probably bring my 12 gauge. I've got an 890 semi-auto, which was my dad's shotgun. I've got a nice Carlson choke on that one. So I know I can poke out to 50 or 60 with that if I had to, but I have I think I said it in one of the other podcasts, but I've got it's like a 1953 Remington 37A, which is there's two models of that gun. There's the youth model and the adult model, and they have a full choke integrated into the gun, and it's like an old school turkey gun. So I restored that probably 2 years ago now, and I shot my turkey with it last year. I think it was my first one with that gun. That's the same gun that I shot my first deer with. Actually, that's the first gun I shot a turkey with too, if now I think of it, but I kind of retrofitted a little bit now. So now I got nice fiber optic sight on it, good sling on it. I got the shell casings on the side of it, which is kind of nice. So now it's like a modified true single shot turkey gun, 16 gauge. And the only unfortunate thing with that is I have to get custom shells for it, but I think I still have 7 or 8 left for that. And I've already got it patterned and stuff. So should be fun to shoot that.
Yeah, no, it'll be a fun trip. I mean, Noah and I have never been I've been out to the Black Hills just for fun, but for turkeys, it'll be a whole new ball game. So
lots of walking.
Yeah. Yep. Getting the boots going. And I actually I've started running again just to get back into it. And so getting all fit and ready. So
yeah, I need to start rucking or running, one of the two. But we've been going on like family walks and stuff like that. But it's funny how like I look at like turkey season. I wish I could. Maybe I'll do a good job of it this year of like tracking my mileage through I have a Garmin Instinct that I have. And maybe I'll track all my miles and see how many we put on this year, because I compared to deer hunting, I know we go out to like Western South Dakota and we bow hunt and stuff, but you'll put on 50 miles in a solid week. That's usually pretty typical, but I feel like we walk so much more for turkey hunting.
Yeah. A lot more. Got to get out, get after them and run after them and cut them off. And yeah, it'll be fun. I'm excited. And like someone getting go ahead.
No, I was going to say, like, what are your expectations? Coming into this, this will be your first out of state turkey hunt. And not that I've been on a lot, I've hunted in Wisconsin. Wow. I'll have to cut that out. I need some coffee. I've hunted in Wisconsin, Missouri, South Dakota for turkeys, and Minnesota, obviously. But like, what are your expectations going to this hunt? First time out of state, first time hunting a different species of turkeys. Like, what are your thoughts?
Basically just be a sponge. I mean, that's like, I try to kind of do anything in life is just go into it with like an open sense of mind and like, yeah, obviously it'd be sick if we shot 3 turkeys, but that's probably not reality. So it's like, not wanting to like prepare for failure, but it's definitely, that that's obviously a possibility, but then there's so much else that goes into it where it's like, we were talking earlier, it's like, people could just think of the word failure, but I think failure is just another opportunity to learn and grow. And so that's the way I look at it. It's like, yeah, we're going to mess up. We're going to spook birds. Probably we're not maybe going to find birds when we think we are gonna. And so it's like taking that step back for me, I think is going to be the big piece that I'm excited for is like, okay, that didn't work. What can we change now? And like, and that'll be a big piece for me here in Minnesota too, because usually I've been out with you for turkey hunting. So when I go out with the
ready, man.
When I go out with the turkey grandmaster, it's easy. Just sit down and wait for him to come in.
You've killed 2 on your own, so
one and with you. So
that's right.
Yeah. 1-on-1. So it'll be fun. I'm gonna go out with Noah for opener and see if we can't get her done. And then I got my old college buddy Eric coming up in mid-May. So
has he shot a turkey?
I don't think so. I know he hasn't. He's gonna come up for bow hunting. So
okay, cool.
Yeah, so I know he hasn't shot one with a bow, so that'll be fun.
Nice. I'm excited. Yeah. Like going back to like South Dakota, I look at it for our trip. I think it's just I don't think my brother's gonna make it, but it'll be me, you, and your brother Noah out there hunting. And I look at it from like the 3-person approach, hunting in the hills. Like it's a really good setup for success on the aspect of where I look at it. For a turkey hunt out there, like you said, great. If we shoot 3 birds, even better. But if one of us kills a bird, that's a win in my book. Yep. And being able to have 2 guns and a collar or a filmer, whatever that is, I think just ups our success. I'm just hoping that there's a good enough population of birds where we're going, where we're not shooting 1 bird and then trying to call into that same group. Because like you said it, I think in a previous podcast, and Nick said it too, of where they're not dumb. They figure out stuff pretty quick. After their buddy just got shot, they're not going to be so keyed on like wanting to come in that next time. So, but hopefully we can maybe get a double or something cool like that,
No, it'll be fun. I mean, that area of the nation too is such a,
it's pretty,
not just to be a nature walker or a nature,
you just leave your gun. You just leave your gun by the truck.
I'm just going to go with we'll shoot them. Yeah, I'll just bring out my binoculars and my birding notebook. But I think that stuff's important too. So it's like it's just gravy on top of everything else when you get to go into those spots, and that a lot of people don't get to just for whatever reason. So when you're able to not only be there and experience God's creation, you're also getting the opportunity to harvest an animal, and that's always it's always fun. I'm excited. So, well,
and I got to give kudos to you and your dad for really setting us up, because we got locked into a sweet setup. This will be the first time that I've ever hunted on the southwest side of the Black Hills. Pretty much have just been up on the northwestern corner anytime that I've ever been out there, but this is going to be a sweet spot. We got huge shout out to the gentleman that's going to be letting us stay at his place, and we're going to be able to walk out our back door and just jump into all the public ground that the Black Hills has to offer. And that's the cool thing about that hunt, is that there's literally millions of acres of public ground.
Yeah. Yep. It'll be fun. I'm excited. We're going to see hopefully turkeys, but see a little bit of everything. And I'm just excited. It'll be a nice little getaway, and it'll just be a good time. And then it's, because we're going, what is that weekend? May,
like middle of May.
Yeah. So, we'll get some tuning up of our skills here for a couple weeks before that, and then bomb out there. And then it'll be hopefully bombing back out there for deer in the fall.
Hopefully we get drawn.
Yeah. It'll be good. But just, going off of that, what in your mind, comparing southeastern Minnesota, where you're not only hunting, fields and stuff, but that's a large portion of it. You do obviously can get into the hardwoods and stuff, but what's the major difference that you see between the two going from here to the Black Hills?
Yeah. The little bit of experience that I have hunting Merriam's here the last couple of years, I shouldn't say that. I really have only hunted Merriam's, I think, 2 different seasons, because the one year I had a prairie turkey tag for South Dakota, and that was hunting similar ground. It was actually more or less, I was just hunting like railroad tracks and just little tracks of public, because there isn't too much on the eastern side of the state. But the Black Hills, man, Merriam's, they can move really fast. And like, that was eye opening me to realize like they can cover ground like nobody's business. They're like speed goats, or I shouldn't say speed goats. They're like mountain goats out there, where they're covering vast arrays of terrain, and you could be calling at a bird and think that you're close. And then all of a sudden that bird's a mile away on another ridge. It's like, how in the hell did they end up over there? But, I look at it like, for what our hunt's going to be, I look at it, kind of breaking it down, going out there. It's going to be that first evening we roll in, getting a chance to roost some birds, figure out where they're generally at. From it sounds like there's a good mix of population of birds that are there. Finding water. And then obviously we dive into that first morning. For us, it's just going to be of just getting as close as we can without boogering them off the roost. And then just playing that game of cat and mouse kind of throughout there. And, being that we're going to be in the middle of the season too, I mean, hopefully the birds are broken up a decent amount out there. There's a lot that I don't know about hunting Merriam's, especially it's a lot harder, I feel like, too, hunting them on public compared to private, where they're
for sure.
always nestled into a specific pocket. Cause like we've said that in other podcasts too, where these birds like to roam, but they're still in pockets, specifically whatever that is, if it's tight to water, tight to a food source, whatever that might be, where they like to be in those areas. But like I said, they can move and cover ground very quickly out there. And, hopefully we just get lucky and we can catch up with one and make it happen. And I don't really know if we'll bring decoys. We might not. Maybe we'll bring 1 or 2, but I think it's going to be a lot of just relying on running and gunning and calling and seeing if we can bring one in. I'm just hoping we get a chance where we can either get a double or a single that'll come in, relatively close. That's the craziest thing outside of my hunt last year to the Black Hills, where I got Jordan and his wife, Nicole is the only one that shot a bird. Like, that was a picture perfect morning. We got permission on a private piece of ground that was maybe only like 10 acres. And like I said, the birds they specifically loved that area for whatever reason it was. It was just like hunting back home. We hit 10, 15 calls that morning. Birds were fired up and they came running in just like they would any other time. And she shot that first tom, and we were done. And then after that, we spent 5 more days chasing birds, and never got the deal done on public. So it should be. I'm excited. I mean, whatever it brings. I mean, it's gonna be a fun time. We'll record a couple podcasts out there, and it'll be just a good time spending with you guys and chasing turkeys. Man, I'm excited.
For sure. Yeah, it's like we keep saying, it's here, and it'll be a fun season of everything.
So with that, being that opener is literally on Wednesday. Yeah. What is the first thing? Where are you going to sit? What are you going to do? What's your game plan?
My game plan is still in the works, so I'm not going to reveal my play sheet yet. No. No, I mean, and that's the truth of it. I mean, I shouldn't say had, I still have, permission on another piece too. It's just, I haven't seen a ton of turkeys, out and about in that area. So with the new one, I'll probably be trying to put more of a pattern together from the truck. So it's like, I told Liam today, I'm like, well, after supper, should we go look for turkeys? And he's like, yeah. So
fun.
We'll do it. So we'll probably just go out there after supper, with the last, hour or so of daylight, and just kind of watch and see where we can see what they're doing. Like they were just I had pulled it up on my phone, so like quick reference back to it, but 7:00 last night, they were out strutting their stuff still. So, we'll see where they end up going. And so it'll be probably a lot of trial and error, just to, new spot, figuring out where they are and where they come out in the morning and stuff, and see if we can't, pull them towards us. I got, quarter strut, Jake and a hen decoy. And then I was texted Noah, my brother, last night, and he's got, relatively the same setup. I think he's got a feeding hen and a quarter strut. So probably roll with maybe a couple hens and maybe just one of the quarter struts and see what happens. And nice. That's the favorite, like we, like everyone knows, but the best part about hunting is you just try new things if it doesn't work and find that, what works one day is not probably going to work the next, or it may, or, so, as someone that's, going on year 3 of actually getting into turkey hunting, it'll be fun to really start diving into the minute details of, decoys and calling. And I've, been got the slate call over here that I've been playing with, and got the mouth calls in the truck. So when I'm driving around, I can just, act like a crazy guy in the truck and but no, yesterday when I was driving around, I was was pulling up on YouTube, just turkey hen calling and listening, like Nick put that in my ear to try and just listening and then try to mimic those calls, and we'll see what happens.
Oh, I love it.
See if I can't turn into a turkey whisperer like yourself.
Whisperer. Well, it's definitely a skill that you learn over time,
Oh yeah.
I mean, I give, kudos, like my dad got me into turkey hunting, but another person who really got me turkey hunting was my second cousin, John Bungham. He's a turkey nut. He's been everywhere. And I'm pretty sure I don't know if he's gone down to Texas and Florida and like done his full Grand Slam and stuff, but he's been everywhere around the States chasing turkeys from the Black Hills and stuff. And it's, it's kind of funny because he's always the one where he won't tell you about it. And then he's like, yeah, well, I shot my turkey yesterday. And it's just like, oh, of course you did.
Yeah.
So he's been a turkey slayer, but I've learned a lot from him. And it's just time in the woods, man. Like that's where you're going to really cut your teeth and learn it. And I mean, like every spring's different. I feel like for what birds are acting like. This year is going to be a wild year because, 2 years ago we were hunting them in the snow. I thought we had 18 inches of snow up here last weekend for Easter. So I figured we'd be hunting them in the snow, but now we've had 50, 60 degree weather for the last week and the birds are fired up. So it's like, we're just back at the normal case scenario.
Yep. No, I was just looking too at the weather. Let's just do a little weather analysis. I'll put you on the spot. So, let's see, this weekend or next weekend, the 13th and 14th, where we got mid 70s. And then for opener, it is a high of 58, 46 that morning coming. Damn, that's going to work out perfect because it's going to rain on that Tuesday.
Yep.
Kind of all day, half inch down here.
They're going to want to be out. They're going to want to be out in the fields.
Yeah, it's going to be
those nights where you get high winds, rain, all that type of stuff where it just it's like same thing with like deer, like it suppresses them from wanting to go. And I will say this though, turkeys do like being out in the rain. As crazy as that sounds, they really do enjoy being out in the field. I mean, they're picking bugs, whatever that might be, but like they do enjoy getting out of the trees in the rain. But I also see it too, where a lot of times where they'll be tucked in the woods. But I think that weather, I looked at it kind of before we jumped on here too, like the forecast for opener looks really, really good for birds to be just
out and about
losing their minds.
Yeah. No, it's going to be, I'm excited. I'm going to say it probably 34 more times before then, but yeah, it'll be good. It's just a waiting game. So
that's the hard thing with me is like, as time is coming past through the years where it'd be like, turkey opener was like the Super Bowl for me. And I've, back when I used to only shoot gun, it was kind of, you had because Minnesota seasons have changed through time here, where pretty much when you got a gun tag, you're limited to that 1 week, and you got your 1 week and that was it. You didn't get it's like now, from my understanding, is if you get your gun tag for the first week from Minnesota. Well, if you don't shoot a bird, you get the remaining, whatever the last 3 weeks, I think, of the season is, to go back out with your gun in May. So it kind of opens the door where it's like, well, pick or choose. You want to go with a bow or a gun because you're going to get kind of the full spectrum of the season. So like, that's where it's changed for me. Is like, I'm super excited to make it on Wednesday, but I want to, like Dan was talking about in the last podcast we did with him, of where it's one of those things where you want to enjoy the whole season. And I think as a turkey nut, that's where I've really enjoyed taking other people out hunting. Because if I take out the first week, it's like, man, you're done.
That's
it. That's it. Like, the fun's over. But then it's like, well, I could take out 5 other people and get the same experience guiding them shooting birds. And it's like, that's awesome to me. So that's where it's kind of fun living throughout the full season, because like the full turkey season, there's just so many different aspects to it. Like it's fun anytime, like this year, like this first couple of weeks, they're going to be grouped up. I'm sure maybe they'll break up come beginning of May. It's hard to say.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, going off of that too, it's like with the relatively mild winter we had, we did have that little late snow dumping, but otherwise it's, I'm almost wondering if opener is going to be like hunting, season 3, third season.
You don't know until you're out there.
Yep. Yeah, exactly. I mean, right now it looks like it's going to be like it usually is. They're just all together, but it'll be interesting. I'm excited.
That'll be good, man. I'm excited. I still don't know what my plans are, if I'm going to make it out for open or not. I have a lot of really good spots on public, and I've got a couple private spots up north, up here. But it's like, I don't know. For me, it's like one of those things where I love shooting birds back home, like out on the family farm or out on the other 160 that we have. And it's just been like a tradition that's been ingrained in my brain since I've been probably 10, of like, well, this is where I go turkey hunting. Like the first year that I shot one up north, probably like 3 or 4 years ago, it kind of felt sacrilegious killing a bird somewhere else besides like the family farm.
Right.
But chasing turkeys anywhere, man, it's fun. And I'm excited to finally have something to get out and go do. I mean, like golf's right around the corner, fishing's right around the corner. So it's time. Life is starting to open up, and we're starting to get out and play outdoors more with Nora and the family and going for walks, and it's just a fun time of year.
It is. It really is. And just going off of that, I mean, I was just telling Liam, we got him. He's starting T-ball here at the end of May, I think, or mid-May. So we've got all his little stuff to start practicing, and so we were doing it really a lot, and then it snowed, and then now with it being nice again, I was telling him we'll have to get down to the ball fields and go play some T-ball. But it's a good time of year.
It's a great
stuff's happening.
Yeah, we're busy with dance and a whole lot of other stuff. So
it's good. Yep. But I think we'll keep this one short just because we're excited. So
it's time.
But no, we do got to talk about our little turkey tourney photo challenge here. So whoever's listening, once you get your turkey, take a picture. It doesn't even need to be a grip and grin. It can be just, something that captures, the thrill of the hunt, or, like a turkey in its just natural habitat, where you're just a cool picture that, you think is awesome. And all you got to do, go on Instagram, use the hashtag WF Turkey Tourney, tag us, go ahead and give us a follow while you're at it for fun. And once May 12th hits, that'll be the last day we're taking pics. And then we'll upload a bracket on our story and start having people vote for their favorite picture. And then the giveaway itself is kind of a sweet little deal. So you'll get one of those nifty Wild Faith podcast hats. I think Evan maybe has his on. Is that it? Is that it? It is. Perfect. And 3-pack of turkey mouth calls, quarter strut Jake, and a bedded hen decoy. So all that for just taking a nice, easy picture. So be sure once you do submit and the tournament actually kicks off, make sure you get your friends, family to go ahead and give yourself a vote for your picks. So
love it, man. Yeah, it's going to be a fun contest, and get you geared up and ready to go for the next season. Or if you want to use it for, late season, end of this year for taking somebody else out. But, and I was going to say too, don't hesitate. Just take a photo. I mean, just send it in. You don't have to be a professional photographer, videographer, etc. Just capture that moment, whatever that is. Send it in to us. We'd love to see it, and share your story and share other stories. And that's
absolutely,
that's what it's all about.
Amen, brother.
Amen. Well, sweet guys. Well, we appreciate you tuning in for episode 3 of the Turkey Talk here. And maybe next week we'll have some fun stories.
Yeah, it'll be in season next week. So it'll be game on.
And like I said, we'll, as we kind of go on here through the upcoming weeks of, all the way until end of May of turkey season, we'll be bringing you more tips and tricks. This episode was kind of more of a low key, getting us prepped and ready for what we have upcoming for our trips. And we'll have a couple more cool guests on that can dive more into, more details of actually helping you out with the hunt and getting it done. So look forward to seeing some turkey pictures, and hopefully, like I said, hopefully we can have some cool stories to say for the next episode. But thank you guys for all tuning in. And like Luke said too, be sure to give us a follow on all the channels. You can find us on any of the podcast platforms, YouTube. Any follows or comments, it's greatly appreciated. We're doing our best to get this channel off the ground and grow it and spread the good word of the Lord, and at the same time sharing our passion for the outdoors. So thank you guys.
Yeah, thanks guys.
See you next
week. Thank you for joining us on this journey through faith in the great outdoors. We hope today's episode has inspired you to seek God's presence in the wilderness and deepen your connection with nature. If you enjoyed today's discussion, don't forget to like, follow, and subscribe to the Wild Faith Podcast on your favorite platforms, including Spotify, Apple Podcasts, YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook. By subscribing, you'll never miss an episode, and you'll continue to be a part of the Wild Faith Podcast community. We'd also love to hear from our listeners, so please don't hesitate to reach out with your questions, comments, or topic suggestions. You can connect with us on social media or through our website. Your feedback is important to us and helps us improve and tailor our content to better serve you. And always remember, the great outdoors isn't just a playground for hunting and fishing. It's a sanctuary for finding solace and spiritual renewal. As you gear up for that next adventure, I pray you find God's presence in the crackling of a campfire, the thrill of reeling in your catch, or the quiet solitude found in nature. Until next time, thank you for listening to the Wild Faith Podcast. Take care, and God bless.